Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at a map called AllStarThrash. And we start off right here, and it looks a lot like gridmap, but with a bunch of extra things placed all over the place, like this little road, which I feel like I absolutely have to drive on. Now, you do need some precision right there, and eventually, I guess it just kind of shoves you off, because there's no way my truck could fit, and now we fall into a hole with some water at the bottom, which will soften the fall a little bit. For a fall that large, we actually don't have that much damage on the truck, and if it wasn't hydro-locked, we could have probably still kept driving it. So let's see. I see a jump over there going over the hole with this truck. I don't know if we'll be able to make it, though. We're only going to hit about 50 miles per hour, and no. Although that's a really good way to fall into the hole. It just gives you a little bit of hope, and then your hope is gone as you fall into that thing. But I want to make that jump, so we're going to just swap this out for something faster. We'll just grab a fast sunburst. Race edition should be more than enough in terms of speed to be able to make that jump. But suspension-wise, we'll see what happens. It's not exactly the best suspension for this at all. It made it. Front bumper gone. Didn't need it. Whoa, but I needed that. Come on. There we go. Okay. I like having the wing. I feel like the wing helps because it gives me downforce. Front bumper, you know what? Whatever. Same with the rear bumper. Back it up, and then we're going to try the other jump right here. This one we're going to hit about 70 miles per hour and clear that one really clean. And if I had a front bumper, it'd be gone right now. Front, rear, the wheel axle's broken, so I'm just going to chuck it up there. Ha! How did I land it like that just for a second? Like, it looked like it was going to stay, and then it's like, I give up. I'm going to just start rolling a little bit. Bouncing, but because that is a roll cage, minimal damage overall. Don't think I'm going to be able to drive out of there with the sunburst, so we'll just teleport it all the way back over to here. And then we can see what's in this little road-looking thing right here. Again, probably not the ideal vehicle for this, but I'm going to try to make it work. It's not as rough as I thought it was going to be initially, but still much more rough than you would want to be taking this car in. I see a real banked corner, but we got to go slow over these bumps. If I had a car with more ground clearance, we could keep flooring it the whole way. But right there, uh-oh. Getting up on two wheels because my suspension can't do this. That's too bad. I thought I was going to make it. All right. Get it upright. Keep going. We almost made it to the easy part. Like right here, this is where this car excels. The bumps, yeah, not so much. It does absolutely awful on the bumps. We're just going to keep flooring it, and then we're going to fly into a really stretched looking wall. Everything is broken. Ooh, a little bit of fire into the mix as well. Awesome. And we'll bring it all the way back up, and then we'll swap it out for something else. So let's swap this for something with some ground clearance. And we don't need a lot of ground clearance, just more than that one. So how about we do like the rally version of the Ibishu Pessima? And then we could keep on going up this hill. I don't know if I needed the ground clearance, but it's good to have it just in case. More versatile vehicle can do more things. So we can go pretty fast up this thing, and I think I'm going to probably fly off of this if I keep going this fast, but I don't care. We're going to keep going. And, yep, we're flying. We are gone. I like how we perfectly landed into that little hole, though. And then we bounce out of it somehow. But I wanted to see what's up there, so we're just going to yank this all the way back up. And instead of flying off of it, we're going to slowly go over the crest. Then we can go this way, and this is definitely not the vehicle to be using for this. If I was going up it, going down it, I could use anything. It just will ruin the vehicle in the process, but it won't actually be a challenge probably unless I flip over, which I just about did right there. And oh, there's a little bit of a climb. Now I think I might actually need some real ground clearance. Like rally ground clearance is great until you get to a situation like this. When you get to a situation like this, it's out of here. We need something real off-roady. So let's just go Grizzly version of the D15. That should have no issues going up something like this, unless you spawn it into the ground like I did right there. Luckily, I was able to get out of that. And perfect. It's able to make that nice and easy. Didn't even have to use manual mode there. Falling into the hole, though, and ooh, something's not right. That thing is not steering at all. I actually broke the suspension right there because I'm trying to steer left and right, and you see, neither of the front wheels are doing anything. So we'll have to refresh this car up. Then we could actually steer. That's much better. And just drive along this road and see how far it goes. So I could do it the weird way where I try to stay above the road, but we're on the road, kind of like it's still on the grid. I can do this. I'm allowed to. But this is a poor plan because you got to do this eventually. Hey, it worked. It worked. Wait. Yes, it did work. It is still driving. That was the perfect plan after all. It's actually kind of interesting driving on an off-road place where it's like a serious kind of off-roady thing where you need a truck at least, but everything's made out of grids. I'm used to seeing like rocks and boulders and stuff, but it's just grid. Just feels kind of funny like that. Although there are some parts here and there where there's like some bushes and stuff. That's more like what I'm used to seeing when I'm doing off-roading feeling like this. But it feels cool, and I think we are probably nearing the end because I see the ground starting to become level with the rest of the place. There's the finish line, or maybe even the start line, depending on which direction you were driving it. See, I don't really care which direction I drive it. I just go either way. It does say finish, though, so I have to assume we're totally allowed to do it in that direction. Does it say start on this side? No, it doesn't. So that is the direction it's designed for. Okay. We'll refresh this vehicle one more time, and then how about we go over to this one? Although we'll be going in the wrong direction right here because it says finish right there. We'll just go up it this way. Maybe we can come back and see what it's like in the other direction as well so you can see it the proper way. But to get to the start, this is just one way to do it. And I'm sure most of the places can be done in either direction. There's no reason why you can't do it in both ways. Just it might have been designed to be done in the other direction. Oh, right there, I almost did something really dumb. I almost tried to cross over right there onto the other platforms. That would have put me in the totally wrong spot. I could have saved that. I reacted badly. If I didn't just overreact, we would have been still driving, but I saw it start to tip, and I freaked out. I had to stay calm right there. Did not do that. Anyways, we're fine, though. We just keep driving, get another truck, going through trucks like crazy, because I don't care one bit if it crashes anymore. I really don't. We just reset it and get another one, reset it and get another one. We have infinite trucks, so why bother trying to do it in one try, huh? There is no reason. There really isn't. So this road is a lot easier than the other one we were doing. We could have done this probably with the Rally Bishu we were driving earlier, but I didn't know that. Because there are so many roads on this map, there's basically no way for me to memorize all of them before I made this video. And up on two wheels, hold it, land it, perfect. Keep on going, we're gonna go up on two wheels again right here, probably not quite, but almost. And there is the finish, which is also the start. Or maybe we're supposed to keep going this way in the direction we came. Ah! Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. I see the arrows pointing in the direction, too. So this really is a long one, and we're going to actually end up back where we were a few minutes ago if we continue along this. I almost want to crash, but I also want to finish it. What a debate. With this truck, not the ideal vehicle, though. I had to slow down a lot right there to make sure I didn't tip it over. If I was using an actual sports car, I could have gone a lot faster through there. So I see a different path we haven't taken right here. Let's just head over to this violently. That's the path I was talking about right there. You thought I was talking about the underside. No, I was talking about right here. That's where I was trying to land until my tire got grabbed. Totally, really. Nuh-uh, I'm lying to you. Let's swap this out for something else. How about Miramar GTZ-S? Just like a slightly faster version of the GTZ. Then we'll drive around here some. Now this, you could probably use any vehicle, but you got to have a little bit of driving talent. Not like that, where I spun out. So I'll flip this thing around and just keep going. Doesn't matter if I spin out, because again, infinite cars. Who cares? I don't. Not at all. Big wide open area. You got to go straight through there to go as fast as possible. Although if you really wanted to, be like, I'm going to drift this thing. Go around the corners in the not wide open way, and then you spin out. Because you have no idea how the car actually handles, so you really have no hope of drifting it until you actually know how it drives. That's the thing. If you try to drift, you got to know what the car's doing, not just pick a random car and hope it does what you want, because it never does usually. A little bit of an airtime right there. And we're going the wrong way on this again. Oh well. You get to see it in the wrong direction. Most people are going to go the right way, so you get to see something different with me going the wrong way, and that's how you get stuck on something that looks like you couldn't even get stuck on. That's impressive more than anything that I got stuck right there. And once again, though, we just reset it, keep going. Come on, steer in. Don't overdo this or underdo this. Just steer with the road. Starting to slide a little bit more than I wanted to, and I'm afraid this thing will spin out, so I gotta make sure I can control that. And now I think it might be a little bit of a struggle for this thing if it starts to get off-roady. It looks like it might by the color of the ground, or it might be smoother because of the color of the ground. It's deceptive. You would think, oh, that's not a grid anymore. It's gonna be rougher. Nah, it's still pretty smooth, actually. Although we got a tight corner right there, so we got to slow down for that. Come on. Churn in tighter. Thank you. I thought it wasn't going to make that. Like, this car is weird. It feels like it's not going to churn in, and then it does. It's annoying to drive. I want to drive something else. Let's crash this thing. Right there. Okay, that's good enough. I don't care if it's not even damaged that much. I just want to drive something else. Let's grab a Corvette. We'll grab a fancy Corvette like the touring version. That thing is way faster than this thing, and it handles better if I remember correctly. Ah, yes, this thing's fast. And it handles great. Like, I don't have any concerns about this thing not churning in. It'll churn properly, as you see it doing right there. And apparently that's also a finish line, so we went in the right direction after all. I don't know. We're just driving all over the place here, to be honest with you. Now, what is this thing? I don't know which way is the up and which way is the down, but we're going to try to climb it from this direction, see what this thing can do. Come on, Corvette. Now, that gets too steep. That gets too steep for this one. We would have needed, like, the drag version to be able to make that. I bet you the drag version could, though. So we're going to try to whip this thing around and drive down this. Please maintain control. That camera was not doing me any help at all. That thing was making it so disorientating. I almost just drove right off the edge. Try to hit this in a way that'll roll us. Nope. Well, there's a little bit of damage at least. A lot less than I expected, though. All right, let's try to get this thing lined up for going up that hill. There we go. And then we're going to change it over to the drag Corvette just because I want to keep using the Corvette for a little bit. And that one is located... Oh, there's two of them. That's why I got to get the right one. And the one I'm thinking of is this one, the Pro front-wheel drag Corvette. This is the one that's stupid, that tips over all the time, but it's also hilarious to drive. And it sounds crazy because the engine revs so high. All right, if anything, we'll be able to make it up this. This has a good chance. In terms of Corvettes, it probably has the best chance out of all the Corvettes. And wow. Wow, it's like, oh no! It was making it a laughing stock of a hill until it started to tip over and I just couldn't quite recover. Can we climb from this spot or do we not have enough momentum? Get some traction! I can't believe this thing's able to get enough traction to pull itself up. I guess those drag tires are just so fat and grippy that it doesn't matter if we had momentum. We could have just came at this thing from the steepest part and accelerated right up it. Now this thing would probably be a good off-roader for climbing steep things that don't have a lot of bumps in them. Now, which way were we supposed to climb? Probably this one. But it's a lot of fun to do things the wrong way. Like, it's just so much funner to do that. And this thing has no chance of going down this because it's the worst at trying to steer. Like, every time I do anything, it feels like it's going to tip over. So every time I try to go around a corner, yep, that's basically going to be the outcome. That's what happens when you drive a Pro front-wheel drive drag car. It really isn't made to churn. Rear-wheel drive ones, they can at least go around the corners a little bit safely. This one, oh no, it cannot. Not at all. So I let that one go ahead and crash, and then we'll bring it all the way back up, swap it for something else, and then actually get down this hill, maybe. Or maybe we won't. I don't know yet. Oh, no, don't fall off like that. Oh. All right, we'll reset it back up. Reset it back up, just try to keep it in that spot, and then replace it with the Maryland police car. There we go. Now this one I can actually go around the corners, although we'll be going pretty fast because it's so steep. Gonna be riding the brakes right here. Riding it. Let it go. All right. We got straight away. We're gonna let it fly. Hopefully we can just keep it on the road. Nope, we cannot. It's too steep. Going into some trees. State trooper, don't know where to go. Why is there a yellow car right there? I did not spawn that up. Did I? Did I spawn you up? Where did you come from? Let's restart the map and see if that yellow car is still there, and I just never noticed it up until this point. So let's see. Yep, that car is still there. I did not spawn it up. It just starts there, and it's just a random yellow Grand Marshal that looks almost like a taxi yellow. And we're going to try to do this thing on the off-road course backwards just because I can. If you give me a car like this right next to this, well, you know I'm going to try it out. Is it an awful idea? Yeah, it is. Is it going to stop me? No, we're going to try the awful idea and see if it can make it. It's probably going to get stuck right there. Yep, and apparently the bumper is now inside of the vehicle. I don't know how that happened. Now, I could try to shift this thing into manual mode and see if that'll give it just a little extra oomph that it needs, although I can't even seem to get the engine to rev up now. That's way, way worse. We got to go into, like, neutral, rev it up, and then go all the way to first like that, and that did not do us any good. Whatever. If we want to actually complete this, we need a real off-roader, so we're just going to grab the H-Series, and we got to get an off-road version. I don't know if I have any modded off-roaders. I think there might be just the Yeti, and I think I'm going to just drive the normal one for now. Just because I don't feel like driving the Yeti, because it's kind of similar to the the D series we were driving just a minute ago. So going backwards on this thing makes it a little bit easier on places like this, but I'm sure there are also places where it makes it a little bit harder. Either way, though, you see it in one direction, you got a pretty good idea of what it'd be like in the other direction as well. And we just popped some tires right there. That is a little bit interesting. This thing right here is like the destroyer of tires and suspensions. You gotta like really go slow on this so when your tires hit, you're not just crashing into it. You just kind of gotta bounce off of it gently. So I'll show you like what I mean. Like if we were going right here, we don't want to go fast. We want to go slow enough where the tire can go up it and we're not crashing the tire into the platform. So nice and slow, nice and slow. Still kind of crashed one of the tires into it. Now right here we could go a little bit faster and just let the thing bounce, let the suspension do all the work. And I just let it happen. And there is the start, which doesn't actually have a start unless I went the wrong way, although I don't think I went the wrong way. That felt like the correct way to go. Sure, there's probably another way we could have went, but I didn't see it. We could also do this. Jump into here. Come on. Yes, see, just like that. Can we still drive this? Not exactly. We're going to try to, but I should probably respawn this before I try to go around the corner because that's going to be the outcome. I saw that coming. Totally saw that coming. Since we don't need a serious off-roader, though, we'll go with a 200BX. We'll grab a drift version. Yes, perfect car to use on the dirt. A drift car. Don't ever try this in real life because you will really, really regret it. Don't even try it in BeamNG.drive because you'll regret it. I'm doing it purely because I know I'll regret it, but it might be fun to watch. So just gotta be careful on the throttle through this thing. Don't want to put too much power. Oh, there's a jump. And it looks like I was probably supposed to be coming from the other direction for that jump to be easier. Now we just gotta floor it and hope we get enough traction to make that thing. And I don't think we will be able to. So I'm flooring it. Trying to keep it straight. We are not accelerating nearly fast enough. No way, no how. So then we go into this one. That's how you transfer from one road to the next. And I think to actually get through this, we need something with some off-road capabilities. So how about we swap the drift one for a rally version? I don't know if it'll be able to make it, but it'll have a better chance than the drift one. And I think we might be stuck in the wall a little bit and just at a really bad angle. So we're going to try to go over here to the flat area to start that out. And that's... did not go well at all because the second I spawn up, I fall into a hole. Awesome, so that's not as flat as I thought it was. Okay, over here, that is definitely flat. Let's try here as a starting point. Okay, so we can at least get moving. And we'll see how long we could actually drive on this before I am unable to with this vehicle. I think as long as we're moving through here, though, it's not that big of an issue, yeah. We were at a dead stop, so that was just too steep. But once you got the momentum, it's not that hard. You just got to maintain that. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Nope, not a chance. I think we're going in the wrong direction again. Just looking at the angle of that jump, it looks like we were supposed to be doing it in the other way. Can we upright this thing? It looks like it wants to. It really looks like it wants to, but it won't, will it? Like, it's just teasing me at this point. Wait. No. Okay. Come on. Yes. Yeah. Oh, but it's broken and I didn't even notice it, huh? Well, fine. Do all that effort, and then that happens. That means the whole time I was hitting the gas pedal, nothing was actually happening to the wheels. I just wasn't paying attention to the top of the screen, where it tells you that kind of stuff. So let's, okay, this thing can't steer, apparently. I have broken something, yeah. One tire's pointed one way, the other one's pointed the other way. That should never happen, ever, unless you have some crazy suspension setup that doesn't come on a normal vehicle. Normal vehicles don't come with suspensions that allow you to do that, or anything. If that happens on a normal vehicle, it's awful, terrible, terrible news. This is how you off-road. You just fly through it and then flip over a little bit. Yep, that is totally the best strategy to use for off-roading. Anybody who tells you otherwise, they don't know what they're doing. They just don't have all the disposable income I do, where you could crash a car and 5 seconds later you got a brand new one in the exact same spot. Then that is the ideal strategy. It's probably going to be the fastest as well. If you really want the fast strategy, you teleport to places. That's the fastest way. And I'm kind of in the mud right here, and just a mix of mud. Let's go ahead and just pan out right here so you can see just how big this place is. So, you know, I'm not going to drive on every single road here. I'm just driving on some of them here and there so you can see what they look like. If you want to drive on every single road, well, feel free to download the map and try them out there. But I'm giving you a pretty good idea of what kind of roads there are. There's a good variety of pretty much any type of road you could want, except for like maybe extreme off-road. None of those, but lots of medium off-roads and regular roads and all that kind of stuff. Over here, we got some crash testing stuff we could do. So we'll try out some of these ones. Nice long path to get up to speed. Gonna go at least 80 miles per hour with this car. 82, that's at least 80. And some of those are so thin, it might be kind of interesting to see what it does when it crashes into it. So we'll reset it, and then we'll hit the short one right there. Not the shortest, the short one, though. Throw a little bit of slow-mo on it, too. Interesting. So the way it kind of like popped up, but then it still crashed. I mean, we got momentum. We're going to keep going for a while. So let's see. Where does it go with that momentum? Just into the sand pit. Can it still drive? Probably. Maybe. No, none of the wheels are spinning. I thought they might be spinning, but just not having traction. Nope, they're not spinning at all. So then we could go over to the left and see what else we could crash into. Also, there are some pyramids here built by the reverse Egyptians. It's actually a well-known fact. Wherever there's a pyramid, on the opposite side of the earth, there's a reverse pyramid. So this map takes place on the exact opposite of Egypt. And you didn't know the pyramids were that close in Egypt. It makes it look like it isn't, but they are. And that's their size for the reverse pyramids. Crazy how that works, huh? So that right there is like a violent jump. Very similar to the one we did before, but it has a little bit of an arc to it before we actually hit the part that damages us. Go to the next one, just leaving skid marks all over the place. Maybe we'll swap this out for a different car on this one. So how about instead of that, we'll use a Burnside. We'll get the lead sled in Fiesta Yellow. Fiesta time! Ooh, that car looked kind of cool in yellow, that one. It looked kind of like if Ethiopia had a race car that matched their flag. That's what it would probably look like to me. At least, I think it's Ethiopia. Get my countries mixed up sometimes. Well, that was interesting. Not that much damage to the car at all. So let's bring it back and go on to the next test. And with the lead sled, your churning capabilities are awful. So this has to be like an 18-point churn right here. Terrible, terrible car to choose for something like this. But then we get to crash it, which makes me feel happy that I chose this car because I get to see a destroyed lead sled after seeing how awful it is to actually drive. So we just got some blocks right there. Go directly into that block. The hubcap! The hubcap! It's gone. The hubcap's gone. Where's it going anyways? You gonna go anywhere? Nope. Just kind of stops right through. Oh, it looks weird when it falls into the ground because you only see like the outer rim. So I'll back this up. Go to the next test. If we reset it right there, that might make it lined up right. Perfect. And this one we're going to stay right on the center line. We got something that looks like two pairs of stairs colliding. That's the only way I can describe that. And it just kind of shreds the underside of the car. That looks really weird. Like the whole front crushed in so much from like an angle like that. It looks like a totally different vehicle. I want to see this crash again with a different vehicle. So let's grab something fast. SBR4, and we're going to go crazy with this. We're going to go with the hill climb one. So we can go as fast as possible. And we should be able to hit that thing at like 100 plus miles per hour with this. Get some slow-mo going. What? Let's try that again. One more time. By the time I got the slow-mo going, the game already broke. So we'll try a little bit slower. Ooh, the speedometer's broken. Well, I know it feels a little bit slower this run. We'll do 16 times slow-mo floor from this point on to try to get a little bit of lift on the front from the acceleration. Got a couple of pieces missing. Well, that time it didn't glitch out, but that is a really interesting looking crash. The way that thing just grabs the car kind of from the underside almost. And it stops it too. It's not like some of the other ones where we flew forward. We get stopped on that one. All right, on to the next one, which is kind of like the opposite of that. It's two stairs colliding at the corner. Don't know exactly what to expect on this one compared to the other one. That one, not as fun. It's just kind of like a regular collision on a short block. So then we'll go to the next one, which I believe is the last one we'll be crashing into. That one is a convertibilizer. So this one we can go full speed at without fear, except for the fact that we have a reinforced roof because of the roll cage. So it didn't actually do that much. Now afterwards, though, that can be a little bit violent. It's so violent, in fact, the car has now officially stopped working. It's going to do a couple of rolls, and then it's dead in its tracks. And that will do it for this map. Once again, here's an aerial view. You can see there's still quite a few things out there that you guys can go and explore on your own if you want to. But if I was to try to explore all of that, this video would get a little bit too long for it to be reasonable. So I'm trying to keep the video length reasonable here by ending the video here. So until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.